Okay, so quiz 6, question 5. A 6,293 Newton car is traveling at 6.4 meters per second. The brakes are applied and it comes to a stop in 3.4 seconds. How much kinetic energy did it lose in this time? So let's first draw this out. We have the car, and it is traveling this way. Alright, and what do we know? What are our givens? We know that the weight of the car is 6,293 newtons. We know that the initial velocity is 6.4 meters per second. And we know that the time, or the change in time, is 3.4 seconds. Now we need to figure out what is the formula for kinetic energy. Well, kinetic energy equals 1/2 mass times velocity squared. Alright, so we're going to need to know the mass of the car. To get the mass of the car, we know how to do this. It's the mass is going to equal the weight divided by gravity. So the mass equals 6,293 divided by 9.81, and the mass equals 6,293 divided by 9.81, which gives us a mass of 641.49 kilograms. And now we can use this equation over here because we now have the mass. So we're going to be figuring out, since we need to find how much to lose in this time, we need to find out the change in kinetic energy, which will just equal the kinetic energy final minus the kinetic energy initial. So first let's find out the kinetic energy initial. So K initial equals be 1/2 times the mass, which is 641.49 kilograms, times the velocity, which the initial velocity is 6.4 meters per second squared. So kinetic energy initial equals 0.5 times 641.49 times 6.4 squared. And this will give us 13,137.72 joules. Alright, and now we need to find out, switch colors, the kinetic energy final equals, it will be 1/2 times 641.49 kilograms Now our final velocity is going to be 0 because it's coming to a stop squared. And for the math whizzes out there, you'll be able to figure this out pretty quick because everything is being multiplied by 0, so the answer is 0. 0 joules. Alright, and now for the answer, the change in kinetic energy equals the final, like we said up here, which will be 0 joules minus the initial kinetic energy, which will be 13,137.72 joules. And so the change in kinetic energy equals negative 13,137.72 joules. And that is our answer, negative. Don't forget the negative because it's asking how much did it lose, and it lost 13,137.72 joules. Now with how this question is worded, because it asks how much kinetic energy did it lose in this time, which is a negative. And so I'm thinking that the answer for this is going to be a positive 13,137.72 joules. And because it lost this amount. But if we have two negatives here, that would make us lose 13,137 joules, not if we lost negative 13,137 joules, then we would have actually gained. So I'm going to try to get clarification from Kevin on this one. All right, thank you.